So on Dr. Bawumia and what he said and the whole idea of media encounter, I want to have a holistic assessment of everything that was done there. I must put it on record that I have a lot of respect for Dr. Bawumia, and I think that in my view, he came in as a very gentle person, and I want him to stick to that posture, because there are people who are rough and they appeal to a certain segment of the voting population, and there are people who are very gentle and they also have the kinds of people they appeal to, and sometimes in an attempt to switch from one posture or persona to the other, you have a lot of difficulty. So I believe he's a gentleman. He should play his politics as a gentle person he is, and then he would definitely have the people he appealed to. He will definitely endear himself to the people that he appeals to. The media encounter, I try to look at the caliber of people that he encountered. Number one, how were they selected? You said you were not there, but okay, how were they selected? We heard that some people were not allowed to go. Why were they not allowed to go? And then, more importantly, what were the questions that they posed? Some asked very sensible questions. Some asked very useless questions. If you've had the opportunity to speak to a presidential hopeful, you are supposed to articulate concerns that reflect the mood and sensibilities of the good people of Ghana. Some asked very sensible questions. Some asked very useless questions. And I wonder how they got the opportunity to be there. And in terms of responding, the responses of Dr. Bawumia, you see, I was a bit surprised. You see, I have followed the conduct of I have followed such engagement with people who are expected or who are perceived to be very discerning from 2004 when I worked at the IEA till 2018 that I left. So when I was there, we're doing what we called media engagement, town hall meetings, and presidential debates. Now, oftentimes, ruling governments do not participate in presidential debates. Okay, ruling governments would always want to shun presidential debates. In the history of presidential debates in Ghana, I think it's only one that a certain government participated, and that was 2012, when NDC in government had actually boycotted. They said they were not going to do it. Then suddenly, Prof. Mills died. And Mahama had just less than 3 months to contest an election. And an election that he was not prepared to contest. And then suddenly the sitting president died. And then he had to find a way to engage the people and endear himself. So then the NDC that had gone out of its way to say we will not participate suddenly came back, okay, to say they will participate. So that's the first time. And the reason why certain governments always shy away from such engagement is that they see that, look, you are going to be if it's debate, for instance, you are going to be, if you don't take time, ambushed by so many or the rest of the aspirants who may not be happy with what is going on, and they're going to be throwing they're going to highlight the challenges and keep all the blames, on you. So they would always want to stay away from such platforms where the blames may be heaped on them by the other aspirants. Now, whether you like it or not, it is only the one who is not asleep and pretending to be sleeping who would openly and boldly say that things are not hard in Ghana. It is only the one who wants to tickle himself and laugh who will say that things are not bad in are not hard in Ghana. It is only the one who is benefiting from what is going on. It is only the one who doesn't buy fuel. It is only the one who doesn't go to the market, or when he goes to market, whatever he buys, he has enough resources being sponsored, given to him or her by the state. Who would say that things are not hard? I mean, to the ordinary Ghanaian, things are very difficult. As I speak to you as UTAC president, I have members, my members who are going on retirement, and they keep asking me, is my pension going to be paid? Are we going to receive? It's never happened before. You work hard, and when you are going on pension, you smile to the bank. We have our GU. People are asking, so are they going to pay? There are so many things that are happening that are unprecedented. Okay. Now, so if you are a vice president and you've been given the mandate to lead your party as flag bearer, and we are in such difficult times, and some or many of the difficulties cannot be placed at your doorstep, it becomes surprising for you to mount that platform that I want to engage them. You see, but when he decided to do that, I said, well, Ojaya was on one channel, but not that one thing. Okusie say, or bet na quantum ponsua, Onibrika na or akukudru. So how do I say it in English? Ojaya was on one channel. See, a goat that is confident is always. So, well, some of the things you say it in the tree. See, Okusi say obet na kwantimpon. So, if you see Okusi on the high road, it means it is either it has the power to run faster, or it is very confident. So I said, well, the man knows what he's up to. So if he wants to engage, then let us listen to. But I thought that politically it was an unwise thing. Because you engage the media? Yes, because no, hold on. Because you were going to be taking on questions and blame of your boss that you may not be able to proffer adequate answer to. And if you are not able to answer adequately, then you take the blame. For instance, I was very worried about his response about the Tamale Sunyani shooting, Techiman shootings. You could see that it's not this one. It cannot be blamed on him, but he was boxed in the corner to respond, and then you can see the stammering and others say, "Oh, these things are not good for him." Let me say it. Some people in the NDC, they don't like it when I say, but let me say it. You see, go read our constitution and look at the role that is given to a vice president. Just go and read it. See, a vice president has no role apart from some minor things that are given. So if you have a president,
no, but the president gave him a role.
I don't know what. I mean that he was coming to fix the problem.
Yes.
Oh, let me do my argument. So the point is, honestly,
Bawumia has also given the point.
And honestly, see, if you get a daring president, a president who wants to be a political king kong, a president who loves fans, a president who wants to take every accolade and every praise, he would not give you anything to do. You will just be there. And so it may well be true that the president told the whole of Ghana that, look, Bawumia is going to do X, Y, Z. But if he said that, it may just be that, well, I was saying that, when he was being made, he was being considered, there were huge rejections. People didn't like it. And the president had to say things to win the hearts of those who didn't like it. So it may well be that
he was sold as
well. It may well be that the president used those descriptions just to sell him. I'm just making a point. You let me finish. So It is possible that he came in. Yeah, well, it is so common. Stop that. I said, don't put me and Kobe together.
It's okay.
So it may well be that President just marketed him, but you get in there and you see the power blocks. I'm telling you, there are power blocks in the MPP now that are more powerful than the vice president, even though he's number 2. So you see the power blocks. We know of the conflict between him and the finance minister. That finance minister was not even attending his meetings, and we know. So you see the power blocks, and you know that you see your smoothness level. That you may be a running mate, you may have been marketed, but then eventually there may be nothing that you may be able to do. But you see, to be taken serious, I would have laughed to hear, and I would have respected him even more if he had appealed to Ghanaians, if he had confessed.
Prof, he's done that.
No, you don't know where I'm going. Let me finish.
Yeah, he's done that.
Let me go. You don't know where I'm going.
On the 18th.
No. I know where I'm going. You wait.
No, just for the record.
No.
You see,
we would come to that.
Ponko Mama Agenda. You see, if a Ponko is going somewhere, he knows where he's going. He doesn't care. So you let me go. I know where I'm going. Ponko Mama Agenda. You see, listen. When you were in an opposition, you created an impression in the psyche of many Ghanaians that a vice president has so much to do to change the governance of a country. So you hunted Kwesi Emisa-Atta. Every opportunity that you had, you told him your mind, culminating in the posing of the 170 questions. Well, you see, Emisa-Atta, a gentleman, he would just nod and then just move away, and he was not. But in my mind, you festered a certain impression in the psyche of many Ghanaians that a vice president can do so much. And now Kwesi Emisa-Atta was being incompetent. He couldn't do this, he cannot do that, he cannot do. He said all that. Okay, the man is dead and gone. Now you have become a vice president. When you went in there, then you realized that so many things cannot be done by a vice president, and that's how come you keep referring to yourself as being there and being only a mate. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when you started referring, or before referring yourself to being only a mate, what would have won the hearts of Ghanaians would have been a public apology. First of all, to the family of the late Emisa-Atta. That look, Emisa-Atta and your family, I was wrong. When I was in opposition, I thought the vice president could do so much, but I got into the seat and realized that you can do nothing.
You should have
and so I am sorry to the family of Emisa-Atta for doing those things to you. You see, there is nothing wrong. In fact, people don't know when you are wrong and you say you are sorry. You have a critical mass of discerning citizenry who see you more as a darling. J.A. Kufuor, let me come to that. It was Kufuor who provoked me to undertake my first ever published paper, ministerial appointments and government expenditure in Ghana. Okay? It was Kufuor who provoked me to do this. He had criticized Jerry Rawlings. He has likened and compared Ghana to America. And said, if you compare Ghana to America, Ghana is like, it's a Lilliputian state. If you read Gulliver's Travel. Yes. Lilliputian state. Ghana is a very small, minute, infinitesimal state compared to America. But America had less than 40 ministers, and Ghana then, under Jerry Rawlings, had 82 ministers. Kufuor made a big deal out of it. Now, Kufuor became president, and then he appointed 88 ministers. And then you guys in the media went to ask him, but you were criticizing Rawlings. Why that he had 82 ministers? Why have you appointed 88 ministers? And Nkrumah said, yes, I am sorry. When I was in opposition, I saw things different. See, it's like draft. Otchere. When you get into that, when you get to sit down and then you are playing, then you see that you don't know anything. Okay, so the man J. Kufuor came in to say that, look, I apologize. I said it when I was in opposition, but when I got there, I realized that things were different. So forgive me. The same Kufuor was likened to Atai by Rollins. Kufuor Atai, and then he got angry and responded harshly to Rollins. And when he responded harshly to Rollins, there were people, elderly people around him who were happy. And there was what he can be actually, elderly people around him. But see, elderly partisan sycophants around him who were very happy. What he can be actually. But some discerning people later went to him and said, Mr. Kufuor, you spoke out of character. This is not who you are. And that's why I'm saying that Bawumia should be himself. You know him to be a gentleman. He said, you spoke out of character. That is not who you are. You shouldn't have responded to Kufuor Atai. The next time he had opportunity, he apologized to Ghanaians that I think I spoke out of character. I shouldn't have said that. And people applauded. So my point is that Dr. Bawumia should have first apologized to the family of Emisata. That, look, when you were vice president, I was hunting you. I felt you could do X, Y, Z. But I got to become a vice president, and I realized that the position of a vice president, especially when you are working with a president like Nana Akufo-Addo, that you can see his utterances, his posturing, his persona, and the kinds of things that he does. He loves power. He's a political King Kong. And so, if he decides to surround himself with other power blocks, then you are a pale shadow of yourself as a vice president, because there's nothing that you can do much to bring him through. So you should have said this, apologize to Ghanaians, and after apologizing, then you can say, now I'm looking for the opportunity to be myself. Clearly, there are so many things that he can do, because I said I heard him, and you rightly mentioned that he said on Peace FM, he openly, before the introduction of E-Levy, he had openly said he didn't like it. But if he didn't like it and he was number two, why is his dislike? Why did his dislike not reflect in the final policy? It tells you that you may be a vice president.
Some people said that he opposed it, but his voice could only reach so far.
So it tells you that you may be a vice president, but there is an extent to which your voice could go. And so, in that regard,
the EMT only provides an advisory role to cabinet. That is very, very important.
Okay, fine. So then Mr. Atta, who was heading the EMT that could only advise, was hunted severely, hardly, and harshly. Okay? And so if you did that, and then you got in to realize that your role could merely be advisory, what should you do to those of us who can discern?
Yep.
You should come. Yep. First of all, say that when you guys were talking, I was quiet. Why enjoying so much?
Sorry.
No. You are worrying me. Yes. So you see, I thought that you people too.
Gentlemen.
That thing that you want to do, I don't like. Let me continue. You see, you are making me even.
Sorry.
I will say whatever I want to say anyway. So don't heckle me. Okay, so you should have apologized first when you had that opportunity, and then also coming back to the kinds of things. You see his responses. Some of the things you could see that look, this one you are just taking on the baggage of somebody who has misgoverned, and it was, for me, it wasn't too good. I don't think that it achieved. You are looking for votes. You are looking for votes. So I would advise, it's free consultancy, go to the people who vote. But if you can't, because given the difficulties of the time, if you meet any discerning person, I mean, the kinds of questions that they may ask and the responses that you may give, given the fact that you were not really in charge. I mean, you may be a pale shadow of yourself. Put that aside.